Hey, buddy.
Hey, Jeffrey! Pleasure to have you here.
Glad to be here.
My new talk show.
Yeah, right.
Welcome to the track by track from my album A New Day. I just released the final video of this album, the New Day track, and so now I'm giving you a track by track analysis of the CD project, some behind the scenes insight into what we did with this whole thing. And I have my buddy Jeff Grider here joining me to help talk me through this process, so it's not just me talking to the camera for 15 minutes by myself. So welcome, Jeff. Some of you might remember I did a video with Jeff just a couple months ago of us singing What a Wonderful World.
Indeed.
And Jeff is currently joining me on the 7th Ave tour. He's filling in for a week for Adam Bastine. So I said, Jeff, you want to help me out? And he said,
No.
Great.
And I'm here anyway. No, I'm just kidding. No, always glad to collaborate with you, Chris, especially to talk about something like this when it comes to one of your new projects, man. You've got so many solo albums here, though. Like, first off, what inspired this one? And two, how do you view this as being a step away from what you've done before?
Well, so this is volume 2 of my a cappella projects. My first one was called Rise. And when I finished Rise, I felt immediately there was still a lot more I wanted to say, I guess. A lot more I wanted to do with these a cappella hymn tracks. I already had a backlist of here's my next 7 or 8 that I really want to get done. So I said, I'm going to jump right into volume 2 right away. Plus, I wanted people to be able to have a second whole collection of songs if they liked the first one immediately. It's nice to have the sequel ready to go if you're writing a book or something right away. So I jumped on this almost within a few months after finishing Rise and got this out within the year, I think, of the first one being done. And I really love the chance to be able to do these a cappella tracks because obviously my background is so much in a cappella that it's really nice to be able to come in and do my own solo project still within this world. Because for those of you that follow me, I do a lot of different things with 7th Ave or with instruments on my own channel and my piano pieces. So it was really nice to be able to do another a cappella track album of me singing all the parts. It's a fun challenge, and I love this world. So.
Well, what I love about this one is it's more than just the tracks itself. I mean, you put some pretty compelling videos to each one of these things. I mean, it's kind of like its own little road trip. Yourself watching them through those things.
That's how I started to put it. I like that. Yeah, I mean, the video component is such a huge part of what we do now as musicians today, that social media and YouTube aspect of it. And, half the problem with doing video, or challenge of doing videos, is that you need to have the audio to go along with it. So if you make all the trouble to make these audio tracks, you should get more out of them by doing videos along well with it. Plus, it's the best way to get your music out there. So I knew, for all my projects, really, I plan to do videos for every song that I do. And this was a great way to jump into that world by being able to do so many different locations and scenes for a project that was already set.
Yeah, man. Like especially the first one, you're walking along a beach. That was
track one. Track 1, Lift High the Cross. Mm-hmm. Yep. So track 1 was arranged for me by my buddy Robert Dietz, who was on the Sing Off. He's one of the producers, arrangers on the Sing Off. So I've known him for a long time. Big a cappella guy. And when I do these projects, I like to do a lot of my own arrangements, but I also like to get some different ideas, some different perspectives, different choices that are made in the arrangements. So I contacted him, and he said I'd love to. So he put this one together for me, and it was one of maybe the first one I actually did for this project, actually recorded, because I knew I was going to be filming in San Francisco. I had something else. I was up for a Patreon thing. I was filming the last track from Rise, When the Saints Go Marching In.
Oh, nice.
And I did that with Patreon at their offices. So when I was going to be out there, I thought, well, I should go get something in San Francisco as well. Let's get another video done, because I have my team out there, my production team. And so I knew I needed this track. I said, Robert, I need this track by September. Get me this so I can go film this one track, the first track for the whole album. And he said, yep. So we got it out there. And when I was thinking of San Francisco, I was trying to think, where do I want to shoot something that's going to be interesting, that's also free. That's just a nice thing to have for locations. So we went down to, it's called Land's End Park, I believe. It's a nice little walk down to the beach. Beautiful little area, and kind of neat. We started, frustrating. We started this song. It was a beautiful morning, bright lights. We got our first few takes filmed that way, and then as we were down there, the fog rolled in, and it was just covered. So most of the video you see is all kind of dark and cloudy, whereas when we first shot some of the scenes that are higher up, it's all well lit and bright. So the challenge for our video guy Merlin, Merlin is one of the guys I work with. He had edit that and balance it out to make it work right.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Like the fog was beautiful, but I'm from Florida, man. We got a different definition of beautiful beaches.
Yeah.
No,
One more neat thing from this one is we actually filmed this at a different speed than the actual song was. We sped it up. So I sang the song at like 33% faster than what it actually is, which then when you play it back, it gives a kind of a dreamy, surreal effect because it still syncs up right to the music, but everything kind of moves slightly slower because you were moving faster when you filmed it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of different, neat. I don't always like it, but I like trying different things, and so
Yeah, man.
we rolled with that. We did a couple of songs like this on the track. That was the first one.
Speaking of different things, that second track, I noticed you brought a few friends with you there.
I did. Track 2, Christ the Lord is Risen Today. I did have a few friends on this one. So this track means a lot to me. When I was a 16-year-old kid, I fell in love with a group called Glad. And Glad was kind of one of the early pioneers of a cappella music in the 90s. And they had a track on one of their albums called Christ the Lord is Risen Today. And I remember as a 16-year-old kid sitting in my basement in my bedroom playing that track over and over and over on a cassette tape, because that's what I had then, and just saying, this is the most incredible thing in the world. They're doing with just their voices. I can't believe it. And that's kind of started me on this journey to a cappella-ness, is this track. So when it came time to do this album again, I knew I wanted to do this one as an homage to Glad. So I recorded all the parts like I do with all these, and I thought the best way to convey this was to have all of me, what we call a clone video. So I was filming these in Salt Lake City, Utah in general, and we don't have a lot of. I thought at first maybe I could sing like a Mormon church or something, but no, that's not a thing. Unless you're Mormon, you can't go to a Mormon church to do things.
Oh.
I didn't know that. So we had to try to find a Catholic church in Utah, which took us a while to find something, but we did find one. And they were happy to have us come in there, and it was a beautiful space. And we shot the cloning video, which involves you set up 4 different locations, kind of, and you keep the camera steady. So you shoot me here, and then you shoot the same thing here, and same thing here, and the same thing here, and then you edit it so there's 4 different videos playing at the same time. But since the camera's steady, it's perfectly seamless. So it's really neat how that works out. And then we do that same thing at a couple different angles, so that it still looks like you're cutting between different scenes. It's really fun to do those clone videos.
Yeah, it's seamless. It's a really cool effect. I love it.
Mm-hmm. I sometimes get the thing, I love this band of triplets or quadruplets or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
no,
like,
just me. Can't
Just
tell.
the one.
All right.
Yeah.
Sometimes I change my outfits for each character so that it looks like it's for different people. But I sometimes wonder if I should just have the same outfit so people get it more easily.
Perform that live sometime, man.
Yeah.
Go nuts. Track 3, Angels Among Us. You had a collab partner.
I did have a collab one on this one.
Yeah.
This
is he
is
an up and coming?
Yes.
Okay.
No one knows of him yet, but he's
Yeah.
getting there.
Okay.
Many of you probably already know. I did this track with Tim Faust, the bass from Home Free. I've known Tim for many, many years. As soon as he started working with Home Free, almost 10 years ago now. And we always kind of said after I'd left Home Free that we should do something together at some point. And this was a song, we threw around a couple of different ideas and nothing was really resonating as the right song to do until I suggested this one. Now Home Free had done Angels Among Us as part of our Alabama sampler many years ago. We did like 7 different Alabama songs and we closed with that. But it was only just a taste of it. And I thought, what if I did the full a cappella arrangement of the song? And it's a great song to do because one, it has the religious vibe to it, which fits this album. But it's also a country song because it's Alabama, so it really fits Tim's brand. And it has that nice little opening speech in the beginning where he talks, and everyone loves hearing Tim talk. So it was a great choice for us to do this one. And we filmed it just in an afternoon. I found a sort of a walking trail near the river about 5-6 miles from my house, and we just went out there and just walked along the trail till we found some neat locations and then filmed it. And it's been the most successful video I've had so far. It's going to hit 1 million views at some point this year, which is wonderful. I love that.
That's awesome.
And a lot of people, I love it when I can do songs that are meaningful to folks. For example, like my Moving On song from my Shine album has touched a lot of people. And so being able to do Angels Among Us, the same sort of thing. A lot of people comment on the post that this is what they needed to hear right now, and it brought tears to their eyes and things like that. And it's nice to have that kind of feeling.
Yeah, man. It's got to be fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's it like working behind the scenes with Tim, though? Is he as serious as he
I don't know if serious is the right word. He's a very sarcastic guy, very chill. He likes to just throw out jokes making fun of everything, myself, the situation, whatever. But, he's very, he likes to make a good product at the same time, so he put the time in to make sure it was right. It was great. He was able to knock this out before he had to fly home because Home Free was up doing some filming or recording at that point. So he had an afternoon free and he had fun that night.
Cool.
So it worked out really well in that regard too. Yeah, Tim's great.
Well, the next video on the album, man. Like I saw this thing for the first time and just had a smile on my face from start to finish. It is without a doubt the most fun song on your album. Man.
Thank you. Track 4,
talk a
Old
little
Church
bit about
Choir.
it, man, yeah.
So Old Church Choir. I wanted to put this album together. I have all these old hymns, but I also want some stuff that's more current as well, the contemporary Christian model. And so I just started doing a Spotify search for new songs, and this was one that had come out within the year. And it's a guy named Zach Williams. And he has a strong country vibe to him as well. And I just listened to it and like, this is just fun. Fun song. And so I contacted Darren Rust, who's the guy who mixes all my albums. And he is the producer for Home Free as well. He does a lot of their arranging still. And I said, Darren, I feel like this song needs your touch on it. This feels like your kind of song to really make kick. And so he was happy to do it. He knocked it out for me, and I listened to it, and I said, this is great. Why don't you just sing it? Because you sound so much better than what I'm going to do on it. And that's one problem working with Darren. He's such a good singer himself. He does these tracks, and Home Free's always complained about that too. I'm like, man, this is perfect. What are we singing it for? And then I thought it was such a fun song, I wanted to make it bigger. So I had this dance team I sort of worked with for Toxic with 7th Ave. And I called them up and I said, Nate and Stacy, their names, said, you guys want to choreograph a song for this with some of your people? They have a lot of dance students that are always looking for projects like this. And they said, yep. So they put together a little choreography for it. They invited all their students and some of their friends to come out and just dance for me. And we found a spot in Minneapolis, and we just kind of little few locations around there and just danced and had fun. And it was so fun watching people walk by, like, what's going on out there? And seeing the camera crew, and they're always asking you, who are you? And some people were like, I love that song. They recognized it.
Well, I mean, what I took kind of like a 90s vibe from like the colors and the vibrancy of everything, man. It was so cool, man. I hadn't seen anything like that for quite some time. So
the one thing I wish I'd done differently on it was they learned the choreography. You know, I'm not a dancer, professional dancer by any stretch, so it takes me a lot longer to learn something like that. And so they're all dancing, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, I wish I could have learned this with you guys. Just gonna kind of fake one or two of the moves. It would have been more impressive. So next time I use my dance team, I'm gonna really try to plan ahead. Like, I need the stuff 2 days ahead of time so I can pound it, work it, so I can dance with everybody and make it look a little better.
Oh, it still looked.
Yeah, thank you. And it's fun having such a wide age range too. You know, there's people in their 20s, 30s, and there's young students that are like 10, 12 years old dancing around.
Yeah, man.
Really fun.
So track number, where are we on to? Number 5 now at this point? That's I Will Be Here, isn't it?
No, track 5. Oh, you're right, there. I can't even read my own writing here.
Right.
I Will Be Here, yeah.
So it's a classic.
It is.
And my question, whenever somebody tackles a classic such as that, you know, you kind of got 2 options there. Do you go into it paying homage to the original, or are you coming in trying to create something of your own? What's your take on it?
Good one. There's no right or wrong answer to that question. I think anytime you're trying to do, especially in the acapella world, taking a song, you want to either do 2 choices. One, you take it in a completely new direction, which more often than not isn't going to work very well. Sometimes it can be killer, but a lot of times people are like, I'm upset about this. I want it to sound like the way I expect it to sound, especially when you're doing acapella, because just doing an acapella is already different. So the kind of the catch we get into in this world is, you know, trying to do new things because you've already taken it far enough by just doing just voices. But you also still have to put some kind of spin on it, something unique. So what I did for this one is I didn't want to, you know, again, make it sound ridiculously different. But Stephen Curtis Chapman, the song that everyone knows this as, was done in like the 80s or something. Him playing guitar and some fake strings and things like that. And it worked out great. But then he redid it in 2006 or 7 or something like that. He was actually at Abbey Road. And he did a sort of, I don't know what he called it, a studio project where he did a bunch of his songs, redid them with orchestra or live band, things like that. And this is one of the ones he did. So that arrangement isn't nearly as well known. Most people don't know this one exists. And so I used that as the basis of the arrangement for this song, because that way it would be still kind of new, but still being true to the song. So when listening to his orchestral parts, I was able to kind of mimic a lot of those things with my voice. I know, like a French horn pops out, so I'm trying to do that sort of line. And it was a really fun arranging challenge to make that work. Because this thing, if you listen to it, it should sound orchestral. Because that's kind of what I was going for. But I still think it works really well compared to the original, and you could use it in the same way. I really like how this one turned out. It's one of my better arrangements on the whole album. And the video was great. We shot in Utah. So I shot 5 of these in Utah with a guy named Nick Sales. And we knocked him out in 1 week. So I had another deadline to get this done early. We knocked him out in 1 week, and this is one we went up into the mountains, and he had a few locations, and he shoots on what's called an Epic Red camera, which is a really, really high-end $30,000 camera. So we were able to get some really cool slow motion effects, the leaves falling behind me because this was in fall. Just gorgeous. That camera's amazing. I want one someday.
Yeah. Well, so the next track on Just As I Am, was that shot in Utah as
yes,
well?
same thing. So track 6, Just As I Am, also in Utah. This was about 2 hours, hour and a half south of Provo. There are these sand dunes in the middle of nowhere. We also have took one of the pictures for it. Again, you can see it, but it's there, and the covers from this shot. It's just such a beautiful place. And you're just driving down through the desert and mountain, whatever, and then suddenly sand dunes out of nowhere. And it's really funny because it's a popular recreational spot. So as we were there's all these RVs parked along the side. They got their dune buggies out and motorcycles going around us. So we had to keep changing our angle of shot to make it look like it was still empty, deserted. Because it's me being reflective, in the universe. And at one point, we even had a helicopter from the nearby army base that swooped over us. So we had a drone flying around too. We put the drone down. Obviously, it wasn't for us, but we're just not going to fly the drone while there's an army helicopter flying overhead. Yeah. Pink.
Oh. Lost one.
Yep.
Is there a stormtrooper cut out there where,
that'd been nice.
Something just bangs its head, or a guy looks over the sand dune, peeks his head back down.
Yeah. So as we're out there, Nick had never been there before either. He just heard of the place, and we just kept getting shot. We get the shot done, and then 10 minutes later, the sun would start to set. It would look even better. Let's do another take. Then 10 minutes later, the sun would set even more. This looks so good now. Let's do it again. We just kept doing more and more takes than we even needed because as the sun was setting, what we call golden hour, the last 30 minutes or so before the sun sets, just stunning how it looked. So it's I think it's the most beautiful track on the whole video album.
It's visually amazing.
Mm-hmm. And this was also arranged by another guy from the Sing-Off, Nick Gerard. So Nick and Robert were on the team, and so I reached out to him as well and said, "Give me something with your style." So he kind of took Just As I Am and tried to put more of a modern take on it. He made a few different choices on the melody line and the chord structure to give it a different feel than what the traditional hymn is. So it's close, but it is different if you know the hymn well.
Cool.
And try and do something different with it.